Hey guys, it's your boy Michael with the H&M Reloaded channel, and today I'm going to properly show you how to use a portable jump starter. Okay, this is just a random jump starter we're using. This is the ATG Fox 8250 Peak Amp. This is a powerhouse. But just keep in mind, not all jump starters are created equal. They come anywhere from 1,000 amps to all the way up to 10,000 amps. Okay, usually you want to go by your car's recommended liter. You know, if you have a 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder, 8-cylinder, 10-cylinder, whatever you have, all the way up. You know, you want to go by that because usually the 2,000 amp portable jump starters will do vehicles up to 8 liter. Usually, yeah, I'd say between 1,500 and up will do up to 8 liter, okay? And then of course, depending on the jump starter you use, you can go all the way up to 16 liter gasoline engines. That's what this jump starter right here will do, you know? And this one will also do up to 14 liter diesel engines. But yeah, you always see what the liter of your specific vehicle is. That's how you know what jump starter to buy and what the amperage you should get, okay? All right, let's go to it. Okay, usually on a lot of these portable jump starters, they have smart protections, okay? So, a lot of these jump starters will actually tell you, okay, to hook up the cables before anything. Hook up the cables first. We're gonna hook it up to the negative right here, see it? See the little metal? Okay, you always wanna get an unpainted ground. Okay, metal ground, unpainted, so you get a good connection. Okay, now we're going to use the positive and put it on the, okay. And now, what a lot of these portable jump starters recommend you do, tell you to hook up your module to the unit now, okay? This is the safest way to do it, they say. So what you would do is you take your module, and these are keyed. As you can see, one is squared, one is round. Same thing as the port. One is squared, one is round. So naturally you put the same shape into the same shape. Okay, you put them in, push it all the way in. All the way in, and there you go. Now it's in there. This portable unit here does have the boost function, automatic boost, okay? Now you hear the clicking in the background? You hear the clicking, right? This is the module. It has a blue indication light and a green ready light. You'll hear it clicking, okay? Now what you would do is, like immediately when this is hooked up, you go and jump start your vehicle. So let's go in the car. Okay, we get the keys out. You want to do this immediately, guys. This way your portable jump starter is not wasting too much power. Okay, here we go. And start it right up. See it? Now you'll disconnect the unit immediately. Okay? Okay, let's put that to the side. First, polarity. I just want to show you guys. Okay? Say you don't know what you're doing. Okay? And you hook up here's the positive to a negative, okay? Which you would never do this unless it was an accident. And here is your negative right here. So you hook it up and you hear the unit letting you know with a audible sound that the cables are reversed. That's an awesome feature. Not all jump starters have these features, okay? Not all these portable jump starters have all these security features on it, okay? When purchasing a portable jump starter, like I said, you always want to make sure that your specific vehicle has the correct liter jump starter, you know? So say you have a 4-cylinder vehicle. I'm sure 1,000 amps is going to take care of that. It'll jump start it very quickly. That's a 4-cylinder. It might even do a 6-cylinder, 1,000, you know? But always go by the specs on your portable jump starter. That's how you know which one to buy. See, if you have an 8-cylinder vehicle like I do here, and you get a 1,000 amp jump starter, chances are it's not going to start it. It's not going to jump start it because it's not powerful enough. Okay? And again, you want to get a jump starter with 2,000 peak amps or higher to jump start all the way up to an 8-cylinder vehicle. Okay? The jump starters with 3,000 amps, you know, will probably do 10 to 12 liter, depending on the specs and the jump starter. And all the way up. You know, if you want a 4,000, that'll probably do, you know, 12 to 13 liter, the gasoline engines. Okay? So yeah, you always want to check out the specs of your portable jump starter before you purchase one, because like I said, if you get the wrong jump starter for the wrong liter car, it's not going to work. You know, and this is a must. You must get a portable jump starter with a boost button on it, guys. There must be a boost button or it's basically useless. Because if you have a completely dead battery and you use a portable jump starter without a boost button, it's not going to be able to start it because it's a completely dead battery. Okay? So some of these portable jump starters without a boost button will probably jump start vehicles with 7 or more voltage in it. 7 or more. But if it has 7 or less, most likely it will not be able to jump start the vehicle. Okay, just so you're aware, I know a lot of people who make that mistake and they purchase a jump starter with no boost button and then they have a completely dead battery and they wonder why it don't work. I don't know why these manufacturers sell those jump starters without a boost button. It's kind of pointless, useless, because they don't work. They'll work, like I said, if there's a boost button. So remember that, guys. There must be a boost button. Must. That's a must. Okay? Also, if you live in the colder climates, okay, you probably want to get a portable jump starter that will support low temp technology. It's called low temp technology, where, say if you're in 20-degree weather, okay, a lot of these jump starters claim they will jump start vehicles down to -4 degrees and up to 140 degrees. That's basically what most of them say on the box. They'll jump start in -4 to 140 degrees. So, but yeah, you always want to make sure you get the low temp technology. You're going to pay a little bit more for it, but if you live in cold climates and you keep these in your car for months and months and months and months and months, and it's frozen, your unit is frozen, you have to hook up the cables to the battery, or you just hit the boost button before you do that, and most units will have a timer on the screen there, and it'll go down the timer. It'll say like -10, -9, -8, go all the way down, then it's ready to jump start. Always get the low temp technology on my portable jump starters because I live in New Jersey and it is autumn now, and the winter time is going to be here any time now, and it can get to the below zero weather sometimes, you know, with the wind chill factor. But yeah, you know, there's always the factors into buying these jump starters. People in the comments that tell me, Mike, you hooked up the negative first. You're not supposed to do that. That's the wrong thing to do. It would normally be the wrong thing to do if you had the regular jumper cables where you need a second car. Yes, you hook up the positive first, then the negative. Or if you have a portable jump starter that does not have smart features on it, that does not have smart protections, those are the only 2 ways you need to hook up the positive before the negative. On these units, the portable jump starting units that have smart protections, you could hook up the negative first, then the positive. It doesn't matter since these are no spark. Okay, one of the protections is no spark. So you can hook up the negative first, then the positive, nothing will happen. Okay, just keep that in mind, guys, because a lot of people, you know, I always hear it in the comment, well, Mike, you hooked up the negative. I always hook up the negative purposely because I know people are going to say I'm doing it wrong, and I'm not doing it wrong because these jump starters, that's why they have these protections in place. Okay, some people will put their jump starters on here and let it charge on here. This is not a charger. Then they leave it on there for a couple of minutes, depleting the battery life in the unit they have like 85% left on the unit because they think it's charging it. Then they jump start it and it starts up. But it would have started up the split second you hook it up. Okay? This is not a charger, it's a jump starter. You know, I'm just trying to give you the facts because a lot of people, you know, I see a lot of videos out there where they're doing it the wrong way. And, you know, I mean, it's not a big deal, but I'm just saying, I want to show you the right way to do it, you know. Yeah, guys, so when you buy a portable jump starter, look at the specs, guys. That's very important. Then look at the specs of your vehicle. Very important, guys. Because like I said before, if you get the wrong jump starter on your vehicle, if your vehicle is an 8-cylinder and you get a 1,000 amp jump starter, it's not going to be able to jump start it. It won't be strong enough. So like I said before, 2,000 peak amps or higher will jump start vehicles up to 8-liter gasoline, probably about 6-liter diesel engines, okay? But this will jump start vehicles, this one here, up to 16-liter gasoline and 14-liter diesel. And again, this is the ATG Fox 8,250 peak amp. The heavy duty jump starter, this guy, 12 volt. But yeah, guys, if you have any questions or comments, you know, feel free to be positive in the comment section. If you have a constructive criticism, that's fine too. Just be respectful, okay? Be respectful, and I just about answer everybody. You know, that's just how I am. I always answer people because, you know, hey, it's because of you guys why I have a channel, okay? And yeah, guys, just gonna wrap it up, but this is how you properly jump start a vehicle with a portable jump starter, okay? Most people nowadays, they do not have the traditional jump starting cables where you need a second car because you need a second car and there's not always a second car around. That's why these, they could run anywhere from like $49 up into, you know, like $600–700, these portable jump starters. But again, make sure you have a boost button on your unit. You have to have a boost button or do not buy it, okay? Make sure yours has the smart protections in place so you can hook up the positive first, the negative first, it doesn't matter. You can hook up either cable first. You can hook up either cable first with no consequences since it's no spark protection. That's just one of 10 smart protections in most of these units. So always look for the specs. And yeah, guys, this is Michael, your boy with the H&M Reloaded channel, guys. Smash that thumbs up button, guys. Smash it, smash it, smash it. We need the algorithm to go up, guys, all right? Please smash it up. Click that subscribe button, click the bell icon, click all so you never miss an upcoming post or video of ours. And guys, we love you guys. Guys, shake your neighbor's hand, please. The fighting in this world has got to stop. And also, the election is coming up soon. And you know who I'm voting for? I'm voting for Pedro. Pedro is my guy. Vote for Pedro, everybody. No, in all seriousness, it doesn't matter who you vote for. Vote for the person who's going to help our country. It's the bottom line. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, whatever, liberal, whatever you are. That's your business, none of mine. I don't talk about politics or religion, okay? Like, nobody will ever know who I like because I never tell anybody, okay? But yeah, vote for the best candidate, all right? We love you guys. Peace out.